Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello. Good afternoon. You can call me Arpita.
Yeah,
I'm Arpita, your speaker partner for this session. Okay.
yeah, ma'am. I'm sorry.
All
It
right.
is a practice.
Okay. And can you tell me something about yourself?
Ma'am, my name is Prajwal Patar. I'm a MSc student, but pursuing my post graduation in chemistry from Karnataka University, Dharwad, ma'am.
From?
So I mean, Karnataka University, Dharwad.
Okay. And where are you
I'm
from?
I'm from Karnataka itself, ma'am.
Okay. And which city do you live in Karnataka? Bangalore?
Dharwad, ma'am.
Dharwad.
You might have heard Hubli, Dharwad.
No, but what is it
Recently,
famous for?
what, ma'am?
What is it famous for?
Ma'am, Dharwad is completely, it is like education hub, ma'am. We have got numerous universities, and it is also known for its rich cultural heritage, and also many poets have come from here, like Gangubai Hankal, you might have heard, ma'am.
Okay. That's
So,
great.
so it is, yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So, how far is it from Bangalore?
Actually, you are from Bangalore.
No, I'm not. That's the only place that I have been to in Karnataka. So I'm
Oh,
relating everything to it.
you are from where, ma'am?
I'm from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh.
Oh, Madhya Pradesh.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
But I like to call myself from Pan India because I've lived in many different states in India. I've lived in
Oh,
Madhya Pradesh, I've lived in Hyderabad, I've lived in Gujarat, I've lived in Uttar Pradesh, I've lived in Rajasthan. So, a lot of these places. And I
so
have
you
been
have
to
been,
Kerala, Cochin, Karnataka, Goa, and all those places as well. So,
so you're familiar with variety of cultures and traditions.
yes, yes, kind of. I've been to Bangalore also once, but unfortunately, I haven't visited much of it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
But I've heard that it's a beautiful city because a lot of North Indians have also settled there because of the IT hub. A lot of my cousins also are living
Yeah,
in Bangalore.
it is called Silicon Valley, ma'am,
Yes.
because of the electronic gadgets.
Yes. And so, what are you studying? You're studying chemistry, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So, what exactly in chemistry?
So basically, this is the first year that is, I'm in first year of MSc, ma'am. So here we are learning inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, organic chemistry, and analytical chemistry. But my
Hmm.
specialization is in organic chemistry. So, sir, when I will move to my second year, then I'm going to only deal with organic chemistry. So it is like a specialization in organic chemistry.
And what professionals can you get into after this course?
Yeah, ma'am. The first and foremost thing what we can do after MSc, if we after completion of MSc, the options that are available for us is that we can go for teaching. We are eligible to teach for grade one and grade two, ma'am. Like PU and PU2 students, we can teach chemistry, and apart from that, we can enter into the field of industries, paint industries, dyes industries, cosmetics, beauty products, medicines, pharmacy, pharmaceutical industries. So it's a wide
Hmm.
scope. Like even we have got soft drinks like Pepsi, Coca-Cola. So all
Hmm.
these carbonated drinks industries, there also chemistry has got a major application, ma'am. So these are the
Okay.
some of the applications of chemistry,
All
and
right.
yeah, ma'am. Majority of the students who are after pursuing their chemistry opt for their teaching field, ma'am. Some go
Yeah, I
for
guess so.
PhD after. Yeah, ma'am. After completion of PhD, you got a wide range of opportunities. After completion of PhD, if you become assistant professor, you
Hmm.
can go for universities. You can do research programs in that. You can publish papers, and there is a wide range of opportunity if you pursue chemistry, ma'am.
And what are you planning to do after your master's job or pursue PhD?
PhD, ma'am. So I'm interested in teaching film, ma'am. So already I have a YouTube video where I upload videos related to basic concepts of chemistry, physics, and mathematics of PUC, BSc, and all. So I'm
Hmm.
interested in teaching. So after completion of my MSc, I'm planning to
Sorry.
go join one of the colleges, get teaching experience for 2 to 3 years, and later
Hmm.
get into the field of PhD. So after completion of
Okay.
PhD, I'm planning for next set and getting appointed as an assistant professor.
All right. So great. But were you always interested in chemistry since childhood, or once you grow up looking at the variety of options it provides to you, you thought of choosing chemistry?
Frankly speaking, ma'am, till 10th standard, I was not interested in academics. Like I was more inclined towards sports rather than studies. But
Mm-hmm.
after ninth and 10th, like every child of India, the parents pressure, or you can say, so you can do better in your, if you do good in your SLC, then you will have greater opportunities. That was said by my parents. I was unable, I even didn't know what is there after SLC. What is there any PU college, and I never knew it. So after completion of SLC, they said me, now you go to science field so that you will have ample of opportunities. So I went and joined few colleges science, and there I took a combination as physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology. Even I didn't decide that also. My father had filled the form and he has joined me. Till I was blank, till UC I was completely blank. I knew nothing of science. So till my high school, the most hated subject was science, ma'am. Actually, I loved social science. I was interested in politics, like political science, business, economics, that history. These were the things which I was fascinated about. But science was like it was not my cup of tea. So
Mm-hmm.
after I joined my PUC science, there the kind of concepts that we got to learn, like physical concepts, like in physics we have got gravitation, force, variety of topics like about the solar system, astrophysics, about the mechanics, heat engines, variety of things where I was able to connect those concepts with the real world applications, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have got the greenhouse effect. Every day I used to see in TV greenhouse, greenhouse. I was able to deal with that in chemistry, in biology, and also the human anatomy. I was able to learn in biology. And when it comes to chemistry, I was very fascinated in chemistry. Was organic chemistry, ma'am, the study of carbon and its compounds. Whole organic chemistry is it depends on only one element called carbon. So you are from which, like you are from which educational background, ma'am?
Well, I'm from commerce, but I like science also. Except for maths, I have loved all my subjects. Maths was the only reason I did not take give up physics, chemistry because maths was a combination. And biology, I did not take it as an option because I could not cut cockroaches or frogs.
Oh.
So I was like, I would fail the practical. So I thought I took PCM, but other than maths, I loved. So I remember when I was in seventh standard, that was the first time that the chapter carbon was taught to us, and I was
Hmm.
so fascinated with that chapter that I almost mugged it up. And I used to say hi to Mosaji, my uncle who was visiting me, and he was very loving. So I used to make him my student and teach him the carbon chapter. And I still ask him, "Do you remember the answers?" Well, he did not remember anything, but I loved doing that.
Yeah,
Though I
ma'am.
think periodic table was a bit difficult for me, but I liked physics more. I liked
Uh,
gravitation, law of
exactly.
inertia, and all of that.
True, ma'am. So the periodic table, like in my ninth standard, there was a one sir called Ravi. So he
Mm-hmm.
made us to learn the whole entire periodic table in vacation. He had given homework, and that I think that was very important for me because I learned at least among 118, I was almost perfect at that point of time. I was perfect around 70, 80 elements. I was perfect, ma'am.
Oh.
Telling. So that helped me when I came to Tuesday. I started getting interest in the periodic trends or the classification of periodic elements and their properties. And as I mentioned, organic chemistry, the carbon and its electronic configuration, covalent bond, ionic bond, these kind of things really fascinated me, and I started getting inclined toward chemistry.
Okay.
So by
So
the
I have a
by the end, yes, ma'am.
yeah. Please continue.
By the end of PUC, my parents asked me, would you like to join engineering or medical? Then I said, no,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go for those. I want to go for pure science. So I opted a BSc and I took PCM as combination, ma'am. As you mentioned, in the similar way, even I was not like I never touched the animals like cockroach, lizard. So I'm like a bit scary about them. So I thought I should not I can't cut those animals and all. I can't do this practical. So I left that biology option and took physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So by the end of my sixth sem BSc, like I was fixed now. I got interest in chemistry, so let me pursue my career in that itself.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. I
ma'am.
have a question which might look like a stupid question, but I just had this thought, so I'll ask it anyway. Why
Yeah,
is organic chemistry all about carbon? Why not other compounds? Like, is oxygen not organic?
ma'am. So the carbon, like, it's a very typical question. I must say it's a very genuine and very intelligent question, ma'am. It's not a stupid question.
Yeah.
So we always say what is organic chemistry? We always say study of carbon and its compounds. You rightly asked about, we could have had oxygen, nitrogen, but I think when we talk about oxygen, nitrogen, and all, they are more even associated with the inorganic compounds also, ma'am. So in inorganic also, you see oxygen, nitrogen, so you see there. But major of the compounds that we see in organic chemistry, like it may be benzene or whatever derivatives of benzene. So basically, organic chemistry runs around benzene ring itself. That's it. So,
Okay. And benzene is carbon.
yeah, ma'am, benzene C6H6. So benzene is made up of
Okay.
carbon, and
Okay.
most of the organic compounds they are derived from benzene. So we are going to take benzene as the initial material, and we are going to perform some reactions to it, and we are going to get the derivatives, and we are using those derivative products to perform some activities or cosmetics, whatever things the industries that I initially mentioned. So those run on these derivatives, and those derivatives are derived from carbon, and that is benzene. And benzene is
Okay.
completely standing on carbon.
Okay.
So that's the reason there is a branch called hydrocarbons where we learn about carbon and hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
So carbon has got more, like it has got vital importance, more role, a vital role in forming all those reactions and all those products. So hence carbon is gone more priority now. Most of the
Okay.
compounds are derived from carbon itself. So they have kept entire branch for it.
So is lactic acid also derived from carbon? Is it a carbon compound?
Yeah, ma'am. It's a
And
carbohydrate.
antacid?
And I need to look at the structure, ma'am, antacids. But lactic acid, I know
Okay.
it is a carbon. I think it's a carbohydrate something. It is, ma'am. Carbohydrates are amino acid, but it is a carbon product, carbon-based product.
Okay. All right. And is carbon a very stable compound?
Yes, ma'am. So it has got the electronic configuration of 1s to 2s to 2p2, and most of the organic compounds which are derived from carbon, they are stable. But it depends upon the kind of conditions we are going to provide, whether if we are supplying enormous amount of heat pressures, then those compounds may get destabilized and we may get some other altered structures. But in nature they are very stable compounds.
So, for example, diamond is formed under huge pressure, but that's pure carbon. But I think it's
Yeah,
very
ma'am.
stable. Like it's one of the hardest known substance. If you react
C60,
it
ma'am.
with anything, it doesn't really get reacted. So under pressure, it becomes stable or it becomes unstable.
Carbon, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So it is made up of 60 carbon. So we call it as C60. So it is made up of 60 carbon atoms. And due to the property of catenation, ma'am, the interlinking of carbon atoms. So because of that property, the diamond has got enormous amount of capacity to withhold the pressure that has been applied on it.
Mm-hmm.
So because of catenation property itself, it is having that strength in it in order to hold the pressure, ma'am.
Okay, but
So
it's really fascinating, right? That one of the hardest known substances is a compound of carbon, like diamond, and one of the softest known substances, which is this lead, is also a pure carbon. So it could be as soft as a lead or lead, whatever you call it, and it could be as hard as a diamond. It's fascinating.
yeah, rightly mentioned, ma'am. So many students who are like aspiring to get good ranks in JEE NEET, they always say chemistry is completely filled of exceptions. So whatever you
Hmm.
see in chemistry, whatever you read, like if I'm talking about the blocks or P block, T block, whatever it is. If we read one property, next element is that property or that law will not hold good, ma'am. So in physics, it does hold good. If I take gravitation for every element whatever it is thrown above the earth, it is going to come down. So it is universal. But in chemistry, it is completely ulta. If you put one law for one compound and if you take for the second, it will not follow that. So chemistry more it is basically it's exception. We can say it is exceptional subject itself, completely filled with exceptions.
Then how do you study it? Like, how do you remember? So if you read one property, it won't be applicable on the another one. Then how do you remember all these different properties? How do you decide how it is going to act?
So yeah, so if you like you mentioned, ma'am, about the C60 carbons and all. See, suddenly if you ask, it is very like it is not that easy to reply without referring to anything. So.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so some general properties you can remember, you can guess about that. But
Mm-hmm.
in the inorganic chemistry, it is very difficult to predict the properties, ma'am. Some properties like general properties, if we go down the group in periodic table, if we go down the group like 1, 2, 3, 7 periods and 18 columns, 18 groups and 7 periods.
Mm-hmm.
If I go down the period, then the size of the atoms is going to increase.
Okay,
And if
one
I
to seven, it will increase.
it will increase like
Okay.
helium, lithium,
Ha-
sodium, potassium.
Mhm. Carbon is the seventh compound, was it? Hydrogen, helium, lithium? Or is it the sixth one? I don't remember.
Carbon, boron, sixth, ma'am.
Six, right? Yeah. Hydrogen, helium, lithium,
Beryllium,
then
boron, carbon.
beryllium, boron,
Beryllium,
carbon. All
boron,
right.
carbon.
Okay, this is more like a chemistry class. But this is
Yeah,
an
ma'am. So,
interesting conversation.
so some properties do hold good, but but basically in inorganic chemistry, we'll always find exceptions. So learning exceptions is itself is a big task for us. So always writing those down. In class, we do nothing else, ma'am. We just start writing exceptions. Sir will tell one law, and suddenly you take another compound. Okay, this law will not hold good for this. You need to take this. So remembering those things itself is a big headache for us. But can't help them. If you have come to this branch, we need to cope up with that.
So, my biggest problem with this thing, maths, was they would say assume that X is this. And then I used to think, let's assume my answer is right. I solve all the problem. If you have to assume everything, just assume my answer is right.